Thank you so much to everybody who responded to my videos last week. It was a brand new venture for me to launch the Healthy Voice. It's something I have been thinking about for years, and I didn't know when I was going to be ready to start, but something inspired me last week to get started. And your responses taught me something. What I learned is that there are a lot of you out there, a lot of you who feel censored, silenced, afraid to be yourself, afraid to share your interests with people. And when you live with a fear like that, it prevents you from living your best life, prevents you from fulfilling your goals and your dreams. The thing I have learned, I'll tell you this, I moved to Los Angeles over 20 years ago as a young early 20 something. And I was right out of college. I did not come from any money. I did not come from a fancy place. And I met a lot of successful people here. And one of the most important secrets to success I learned in Los Angeles is that unique wins. The most unique person in the room is the most interesting person in the room. And you cannot be unique if you're following the rules of everybody else. But it takes confidence to pull it off. If you're unique and insecure, it comes off as weird and strange and people are uncomfortable around you. So it's my goal that through the information I have to share with you, you can learn how to become more confident being yourself, using your voice with confidence, and expressing yourself authentically, because this world is full of so many censoring powers, so many individuals who want to shut you up, so many systems and institutions that benefit from you not being yourself, not being comfortable sharing your true expression. I personally want to live in a world of unique individuals who are confident in their feelings, their opinions, their goals, their dreams, their creative expressions. And so I have an assignment for you today. We're going to get right into it. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about a time or times when you didn't feel comfortable admitting that you liked something. So this is pretty far from the trauma topic. Not talking about fear of abuse. I'm talking about fear of embarrassment because you like something that isn't cool, quote unquote cool, according to your friends or your family. And you knew if you admitted it out loud, you would get ragged on. And so you kept it to yourself. You liked the thing in silence. You watched the TV show with headphones on and you turned it off whenever someone came into the room, or you listened to your favorite band from middle school without letting anybody know because you didn't want to deal with the ridicule. I want you to think about that and write about it. And then I want you to see if you can imagine yourself living a life where you feel totally free to admit to the world that you like this thing, that you like this band or this writer or whatever, or you think so and so is cool, and even though everybody thinks he's weird. I want you to think about what it would be like if you could just own the things that you really like without caring what anybody thinks. Imagine there's a band that you like. Okay, let's stick with that metaphor. Imagine there's a band you used to listen to when you were a kid. It was really cool when you were a kid. All your friends liked this band. But now that you're a teenager, it's not cool anymore. But imagine what it would be like if you were so confident to the point where you actually had a podcast where you talked about this band, you talked about the songs, and maybe you even got to a point where you interviewed and met and interviewed one of the band members. What would that be like for you? To be so proud, to wear that band t-shirt in front of all your friends and to not care what anybody thinks. What would that be like? I want you to think about that and write it down. And then what I want you to do is after you've had a chance to think about that, I want you to think about something that makes you a little uncomfortable to share, and then share it with somebody. Find somebody who is a dignified person. So be careful. If you have people in your life who are genuinely mean and they like to rag on you, find somebody who's not really like that, who maybe you'll still be embarrassed whenever you tell them, but you know they won't make fun of you. Start by sharing with them this thing that you're interested in, and then just notice how you feel. You're going to feel embarrassed. There's no doubt about it. But notice how you handle the embarrassment. And then after it's over, ask yourself if it was really as bad as you thought it was going to be. And then challenge yourself to do something like that again the next day. Challenge yourself to say something the next day that you feel nervous saying out loud. Be smart, obviously. Some people are quite intense and aggressive, and you don't really want to put yourself in a situation where they're going to be total jerks to you. So try to stick with people who you feel like are dignified and safe people to be around. And just experiment. It could even be something as simple as complimenting another person. Maybe you have a nervousness about complimenting people. Start with that. People love compliments. And some people are weird about it, but just notice how you feel when that happens and then move on and find somebody else to compliment. Let's start getting comfortable with being ourselves. If you can do that, if you can start to feel comfortable being who you are, then your voice is going to change. Your voice is going to start, it's going to get louder. It's going to get fuller. You're going to start to sound better. And my hope for you is that after you get comfortable with this practice, you'll start taking bigger steps in your life. You'll move on from just admitting that you like your favorite band from elementary school to admitting to everybody that you have this big, crazy dream of owning a business or traveling the world or becoming a famous artist. Those are the kinds of dreams that people hold back because they're afraid of ridicule. And my dream for you is to overcome those fears so that you can actually fulfill those dreams. So that's it for today. It was a kind of a short video, but I'd love it if you would share your feedback in the comments. Is there something that seems silly that you're afraid to admit? You don't have to share it in the comments, or you can if you want to. If you'd like to start there, go for it. Write down if you can relate to what it is I'm saying. Have you overcome that in the past? What happened when you did? Are you still in that place where you're too nervous to share even with your friends about certain things that you think and that you like? And what does that do to you? How does that affect your voice? What would it be like for you if you were totally confident in the things that you're interested in? Once again, thank you for joining me on this channel, and I look forward to sharing more with you. I'll see you in the next one.